deal with this. Our locations will not come. The various segments of the government, pensioners and civil servants and members of the other departments and agencies will suffer untold hardship.
So I wanted to make this clear so Rivers people understand. You're saying that based on the most recent letter that was written by the government, if you do not get a response from the assembly that says otherwise,
yes,
it means that tomorrow we're expecting the governor to go to the assembly to present the budget.
Of course, we had captured it on paragraph 7. Against this backdrop, it is my pleasure to again notify you, Mr. Speaker, of my desire and intention to present the 2025 budget to the Rivers State House of Assembly on Wednesday. That is his intention. The 19th March 2025 by 11 a.m. or any other date within March 2025 that you may consider convenient. So if there is no response, they say silence is consent. We have already proposed. If I say, fear me, I'd like to come to your house tomorrow by 9 or whatever, so 19th by 9 o'clock. If you don't say anything, I will assume that you have given me.
Because the spokesperson for the assembly, Enemy George,
yes,
there was a broadcast yesterday
yes,
that we had on the show, and he had said that if there's a letter of acknowledgement that whatever letter was sent was received, the government should show. So is it that before the governor can go, there must be an acknowledgement from the assembly? Yeah. And if they don't acknowledge it, it means that letter you are sending would not be effective because it was not acknowledged by them.
No,
is that the
when,
case?
when the premise is released on showing proof of service, there are several means of service. You can serve through substituted means. You can paste at the entrance of the person's abode. You can serve through the newspapers, through national newspapers. We have done one aspect of it, and you cannot also produce. We can't go and forge proof of service when it is obvious that by the video that I have here, we brought it, and at the entrance of the assembly, we were not allowed. That's a DHM.
Because he also said that the governor was going for, okay, we have a commercial coming.
No, the governor was not going. The governor shifted that program for 2 o'clock with the hope that by 11 o'clock, which was the agreed time, we were going to be at the assembly, return, and then prepare for that day's event.
Then some people asked, didn't the governor have an advanced team that must have gotten there and seen that it was locked and then informed him that it's locked so he doesn't have to come?
What type of
question? Those are all speculations people are making and questions people are asking.
People are free to make such speculations, but the fact of the matter is that once you give me, like you have asked me to appear on your station this morning, do I need to send an advance team? You spoke with me and we agreed that I was going to appear on this program. And I'm coming and I'm on my way and I've spoken with you. You should have known.
So in other words, the governor had spoken with the Speaker of the House. Okay.
Governor sent WhatsApp messages, sent text messages, and then all the
after the commercial. 8:30, that's what the time is. The conversation continues here on the Morning Crossfire. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. The Honorable Commissioner for Information, Mr. Joe Johnson, is with us in the studio this morning. We've asked you to tell us your perception and your concerns with regards to the impeachment threats that arose, should I say arose, or it actually woke up everybody. Not in the right way for some people, in a very right way for others. It's just a steep divide. That's where we are now at the moment in Rivers State. Well, remember to go use the various handles on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, on YouTube Nigeria Info PH, on X Nigeria Info PH. The phone lines are already buzzing. We'll come to the phone lines. I'm sure a lot of us have questions. But I'll go back to my guest. Before the break, where you were responding to some questions about, I asked about the governor's visit to the assembly the first time where he was locked out. And then I was referring you to the broadcast by Nemi George where he had said that did not happen, that the governor was not locked out, that the governor cannot just come to the assembly as if it's one, I can't remember the exact word you used, but paraphrasing now, ordinary place, that there was no prior notification. And that they said they even served on WhatsApp, that's disrespectful to the assembly, that they would send them such a thing on WhatsApp, he says. And then he says the governor was going somewhere for commissioning and decided to branch. His words, not mine. What was really the plan, and how did all of that work?
Well, we're in a very critical moment when quite a lot of things are out there. But to put its record straight, the governor attempted to be delivered by DHL. I have the video clip of it. And then the company went and couldn't gain access. The governor reached out through WhatsApp and telephone calls to the speaker before we set out on Wednesday morning to go.
Did they
to the
speak?
assembly.
Because for some people, he had called the speaker. Did the speaker speak with him and say, we are waiting for you?
I wouldn't ask the governor that. If he said, I've reached out to the speaker, I'll take his word for a bond. If he says, I've reached out to the speaker, talk with you, it's left with the speaker to say, I never spoke with the governor. But the enemy is just like I am. I am the information officer on the part of government. He's the information officer on the part of the assembly. The much that I know is the one I know. There are a few things that the governor, and quite a number of things that the governor knows that I don't know. So, enemy to say that we were passing, no. We gave specific time, and we arrived at that exact time. When we got there, they scampered and locked the gates.
You saw that.
We now had to address the press. The governor had to talk to the press. Then we returned to Government House. We actually billed for the commissioning of the zonal hospital in Bori, which we had shifted by that arrangement to meet with the House by 11. Because presenting a budget is it's not more than an hour to present a budget for the House to begin to deliberate on it. Now, we had to shift the program that was meant for 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. That was what happened on that day.
So after you got to the assembly gate and then what happened? Did the governor proceed immediately to the commissioning?
No. We returned to Government House, spent hours before we now set out for the Bori journey.
Well, there were other things that were said in that broadcast. One of them also was that the assembly wrote a letter to the governor to come and present the budget. That whoever went to present the letter at the Government House was beaten. Then they had to send the letter using a courier service.
In law, we talk about law of evidence. They should show, like I've showed, what do they call it? The newspaper publication that we did. I've also showed, the video of
the attempts.
what transpired. So they should show us. Let the public, we're now in the court of public opinion. Let people make their opinions. There's no way anybody could have been beaten in front of Government House without evidence to show that this was what happened. And I'm not too sure we have the kind of security people that are there, even DSS people, and they're very civilized in dealing with things like this. So there was nobody who was ever beaten. If they ever sent, I have no records. I'm not aware. But in our own case, I have an evidence. I have 2 videos of what transpired in the 2 attempts. And on our own volition, we decided to publish in the national newspaper to show that we are truly working according to what the Supreme Court requires us to do. So, but you can see clearly that it is the assembly that is making things difficult for the marriage. We are not able to sit down to be able to deal with this. But the ones that the governor could do offhandedly, he had asked that local government chairmen step aside or leave the scene for the heads of local government to take over. The RISEC had a guideline for another election. The plan of the electoral campaign and all that. If you for I don't know how we need to
what's
fight.
What's the government's view on what's happening, especially with regards to the chief judge? Because there are some people that have
those are best interpreters of the action. I don't know. I'm not part of the assembly, but all other onlookers are beginning to interrogate the motive behind and what is the interest about the age of the chief judge. It is the NJC that should really be the body that should bother with whatever is the misgivings with members of the bench.
Well, what concerns you have? Are you concerned? A few people have said to me that they are tired of River State issue and they are not bothered about whatever it is that has been said. This one says, Fiemi, good morning. May I note clearly that the notice of impeachment is dead on arrival, especially for including the deputy governor. It is clear to all that want to cause chaos in the state. Honorable Commissioner, please, why can't you particularly activate in your local government a recall process for members of the House of Assembly who are not in favor of the progress of Rivers State? Number two, what of the option of going back to court against Martin and others for committing perjury by lying on oath about their defection? This one says, my brother, I'm sorry I'm bothering you. Say, where are PDP governors? Is Governor Fubara not their member? It's really sad that one of their own is passing through this. None had said what the issue is and how they can help. If I were the governor, after this battle, I will officially decamp to the APC. Assembly isn't the issue, but President Tinubu and the Supreme Court withholding allocation and interpretation somersault and before earnest. Patrick from Chokocho says, if I listen very well to your guest, he was not sure if there were communications. You can't come to me if I never permitted you to. Brother, the man who stood there is plain intelligent with the reality. No, the table has shifted to the other side. When there was 26 assembly members were mere committee of friends then and stopped recognizing a member to the extent they stopped paying their salaries for over 8 months. It's not a year. That time they didn't know that they have families to take care of. Now the Supreme Court of the land has favored 26 members of the assembly. They now want things to be settled. They dancing, using Thanksgiving to praise their action. They never knew. I think the Supreme Court judgment was to settle the issues. So I'm trying to look at this your message here. It says now Supreme Court has given. Okay, there are those. I think from this particular message, I just put out this question because I think I understand what he's trying to say. There are those that have said Supreme Court judgment is how it's not becoming. Is it that the Supreme Court judgment is now becoming the problem in Rivers State instead of settling the issue? It has now become the seed that is bearing this new round of political crisis that we are facing.
The Supreme Court judgment...
Ordinarily, you would expect that with that judgment, okay, we'll come, we'll present, and everybody would work, and because we've settled who is who and what is right according to the courts, and that should be the case. But it looks as though that's not the case. Even though the Supreme Court has settled and said this is what should happen, it's still not happening.
Well, it's common with humans. I want to believe that the Supreme Court judgment was not ambiguous. It clearly states what it wanted. The judgment said they had annulled the local government election. You don't want to open the door. We have invited you to come to government house. You say you won't come. We now came to your own. You locked us out. We said, okay, give us another opportunity. We are looking at Wednesday, 19th of March, to deal with this. And that's the ding-dong. We have been there. So, a resolution. Supreme Court judgment didn't say go and impeach the governor. Supreme Court judgment simply said go and represent the budget for your allocation to be released. Is that not what the Supreme Court judgment said? It didn't say go and impeach the governor. Go and pursue the chief judge to bring his certificate of birth. Go and remove the chief electoral officer. He didn't say all that one. But these are the vainglories, the things we're seeing playing out. He didn't say go and give governor ultimatum, produce a budget in 48 hours. Budget is a document which we need to prepare. We had the judgment on the 28th. On Monday, you said governor should produce, you are giving him 48 hours ultimatum. With democracy, somebody you have by their own rule, 7 days. So for the local government chairman, heads of local government, you say will not hold. You are repealing the local government laws that you already have when the timetable has already been announced. So you see that when things become extremely difficult, you must begin to think of the best way to approach it. And for us, we're trading on the path of peace. This governor's mantra has been peace on all fronts, so that the world will also see the aggressors. We already know who are the people behind this proxy war.
All right, let's go to the phone lines now. Tell us your name quickly, where you're calling from, and then respond. Tell us what you think about the threats of impeachment that the Assembly had put out. Good morning. There's a notice including the deputy governor, which many have found very worrisome. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Good morning, Nigeria Info.
All right, your name and where you're calling from.
Morning
please.
to the commissioner of in the studio.
Good morning.
My name is Comrade Confidence. First of all, I want to ask the commissioner in the studio, in the eyes of the law, according to the assembly members, is he really the commissioner of information? Because they really say he has done this screen probably by the legal muscle. Intent is the constitutions in Nigeria. As whether the governor have come to assembly, and if the governor is impeached, heaven will not fall, because there have been several impeachments in Nigeria. The one that LMSL was impeached because of gross misconduct. And so Rivers State will not be the first to be impeached, that the Rivers State House of Assembly impeached the governor. So let him answer whether he's the really commissioner, because he has not been screened by the Assembly of Rivers State.
All right.
We should answer the questions.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Yes, Andrew, good morning, sir.
All right, good morning.
Mrs. Ucheke, I'm calling from Italy. I think Joe Johnson is not being sincere with the whole stories. If you ask me, I have my reasons. What was the position of the Supreme Court? I mean, was it only the presentation of the budget that was mentioned in the true certified copy of that Supreme Court judgment? What was the position of the Supreme Court judgment regarding the position and the actions of Oko Jumbo? I believe I read somewhere there where the Supreme Court stated clearly that every action taken by the Oko Jumbo-led speaker or assembly, was null and void. As such, any appointment or action carried out by them does not exist in the eyes of the law. And now the assembly has invited all the commissioners being appointed under Oko Jumbo. And the governor has directed them to go to court. What then shows that the governor needs peace. Secondly, when they visited the assembly gate, was there any correspondence? Was there anything like the speaker has responded that warranted the governor to go to the gate, or you wanted to go and just make himself available just like that? They are not having. They should be sincere.
All right. Good morning, Nigeria Info. All right. What's that call? Numbers are still very open and active. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0002. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Yeah, Andrew. Good morning. Daluga man from Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to first of all greet the Honorable Commissioner for Information, the one who is always media friendly. Each time you call upon him, he's ready to tell you what you need to know about Rivers State. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Lugard. Thank you.
Yes, I want to first of all say what is happening in Rivers State cause for serious concern. and every hand must be on deck. Supreme Court did not restate Patamihule and Co. to cause problem in Rivers State. They said, Governor, go and represent the budget, of which Governor has made several efforts to represent this budget, but these people are bent in frustrating the efforts of the governor based on the instruction of one man. I am here saying, Rivers man, as a politician, as a grassroots man, that we are not going to leave any stone unturned in making sure that we protect this good man that is handling River State. Whatever they are planning may be, I'm telling them that it's dead on arrival. They are ready for anything at all that wants to happen in River State. See, they should not take it city for granted.
All right,
or as a weakness.
Thank you. Thank you. We have to move on to another caller because we're running out of time. Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Zion, I'm calling you from Port Harcourt. Good morning to you.
All right, morning to you.
The box lie at the table of the governor. Andre Femi, I want to tell you this for the first and free of charge. There is one prayer Governor Sim Fubara or the associate of the governor can present before the state high court, and it will silence all this tension in this state. What are the lawyers of River State and Port Harcourt? What are the social organizations and civil societies? Must you wait for somebody to tell you to protect the governor? Can't you pick up this battle on your own? And most of the people around the governor today, in the morning, they are simplified. In the night, they are wikematic. Very dangerous associate around the governor right now. Until we fix this aright. Look, the governor is executive. And all these shenanigans going on is because he allowed it. If it was the kind of the former governor that is in charge now, do you think all this matter will persist? The Supreme Court, in their wisdom, should do this. If a finding committee have faulted that judgment, I think that judgment should be withdrawn. I stand to be corrected. Mr. Zion from Port Harcourt.
All right. We'll take one more call and then we come back to the studio. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm I greet you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I also greet the commissioner and the my name is Tude. I'm calling from Merima community.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
I find it very difficult to understand the commissioner in the studio. For me, all his assertions is contradictory to the extent that he's quite. The other day when you interviewed him, he was talking about correspondence, sending a message to the speaker, and then the speaker, by virtue of reading the message for him, silence becomes an acceptance, and that is in the law, not by communication. Now you are now rushing to go and conduct a local government election. What necessitated the hurriedness that leads to the state government conducting elections? The shenanigans that happened on the 5th of October. Was it not a judgment passed by the Supreme Court, which orders all states to conduct elections before 30th of October? And then you are talking about you getting to the gate and the gate was shut at you. To that extent, you now resolve to actually address the public by bringing microphone and all of that. You are not willing, because even when you are speaking, I suppose you should be telling the part of alternative business resolution. But you are still blackmailing the House of Assembly member, creating emotions, and signing sentiments and getting apologetic. But you know that you are done working. So what I want to say, stand on the ground of making sure that you prevail on the House of Assembly member, because there is nothing like that is vertical on the three arms of government.
Thank you very much. I think that's the much we can take. A few more on Facebook. Anthony Iwu says all the people taking sides with the Wiki Assembly today will remember what happened to PDP former national chairman. His offers and promises are
2023, and that was before Martina Mehula speaker. So, and I was screened along 5 others. One is the outgone chairman of Onelga, Isaac Umejuru. I was screened along the Commissioner for Agri, Victor Key, Govt Wallo, and then Ben Choma. We were all screened together. And I'm not too sure that he has this information. So, as authentic that I think I am, I cannot also be an imposter. Now, Uche Ken talked about perception. Perception is free. The truth of the matter is that this governor is prepared to have this state governed under a very peaceful atmosphere of faith. What I did in the press conference yesterday is written. You can hear my voice. I sounded conversational. I sounded conciliatory. And I'm appealing to the assembly members that now that they probably may have called off their original plans to go on recess, they should consider the interest of the state. Consider that beyond them, there are relations and relatives of all of them who are resident in Rivers State. And we do not expect that our position should be used to put our people into serious hardship.
Honorable, thank you very much, but that's the much we can take. Good morning. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. We'll go on a commercial now.
Waiting they create party.